The dragon egg rested in the Museum of Ancient Mysteries, exactly where it had sat for 300 years. Scientists had studied it, analyzed it, debated its authenticity. Some believed it was a fossil. Others thought it was an elaborate hoax. No one believed it could ever hatch. The egg was the size of a boulder, covered in midnight black scales that caught the light like polished obsidian. Temperature readings showed it was stone cold. Always had been, always would be. It was kept in a climate-controlled display case behind thick glass, surrounded by warning signs and historical plaques. 8-year-old Tommy Mitchell didn't read the signs. He was on a school field trip, bored out of his mind, when he wandered away from his class. While other children looked at dinosaur skeletons and ancient artifacts, Tommy found himself drawn to the darkened corner where the dragon egg sat. Something about it called to him. He pressed his face against the glass. The egg seemed to glow faintly, as if acknowledging his presence. Without thinking, Tommy placed his small hand flat against the cool surface of the display case. "Don't touch that," a security guard said, but there was something gentle in his voice. The old man looked at the boy, then at the egg, and for some reason, he didn't call it in. "That egg has been here longer than I've been alive, kid. Never so much as cracked." Tommy nodded but didn't move away. That night, he couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the egg, how lonely it must be sitting in that cold case for 300 years. He thought about how it had been waiting, just waiting for someone. The next morning, Tommy convinced his mother to take him back to the museum. He didn't tell her why. They went during the quiet hours when few visitors walked the halls. When they reached the dragon egg display, Tommy's mother stopped to read the plaques while he stood before the glass. This time, Tommy did something brave and foolish. He slipped under the velvet rope, ignored the warning signs, and pressed both his small hands against the glass of the display case. The security guard at the far end of the hall was distracted, not paying attention. "I know you're in there," Tommy whispered to the egg. "I know you're waiting." He closed his eyes and imagined warmth. He imagined the egg hatching. He imagined a beautiful dragon spreading its wings and flying free. He imagined it so hard that his chest hurt. Then Tommy did the only thing that made sense to him. He hugged the display case. It was a child's gesture, simple and pure and full of unconditional love. The kind of love that doesn't ask questions, doesn't doubt, doesn't hesitate. Tommy wrapped his small arms around the glass and pressed his forehead against it, giving everything he had to the lonely egg. The temperature in the room changed. Alarms began to sound. Scientists rushed in from the back rooms, shocked and confused. The egg's temperature was rising, impossibly rising. From absolute zero to warm. From dormant to awakening. Cracks appeared on the obsidian surface. Tommy's mother pulled him back, but he watched, mesmerized, as the egg continued to crack. Large pieces of shell fell away. Inside, a creature began to move. A snout emerged first, scaled and magnificent, then a head, covered in shimmering gold and emerald scales. Eyes opened, ancient, intelligent, grateful eyes that looked directly at Tommy. The dragon took its first breath. It was small, no larger than a house cat, but perfect in every way. Its wings unfolded slowly, delicate and translucent. It opened its mouth and made a sound like wind chimes mixed with a purr, a sound that shouldn't have existed but did. The dragon climbed out of the broken egg and took one step, then another, moving directly toward Tommy. The security guards froze, unsure what to do. The scientists recorded everything, their cameras capturing the impossible. But the dragon only had eyes for the boy. It touched its snout to Tommy's chest, right above his heart. And Tommy understood something in that moment. The egg hadn't been cold because it was dead. It had been waiting for warmth. Real warmth. The warmth of a human heart that cared enough to hug a stranger. Later, as the museum erupted into chaos and scientists fought over who would study the dragon, Tommy made a quiet promise. He would visit every day. He would keep the dragon company. He would give it the love that had awakened it. Because Tommy understood something adults often forgot. The impossible only happens when someone believes in it badly enough to hug it close. The dragon curled around the boy and fell asleep, Finally warm after 300 years of waiting for someone who would care.